and you're listening to Communities Live on Sheffield Live Radio 93.2 FM with me, Susie Casson, and T-Boys round and about. But now we're joined in the studio by Mr. Penny Dreadful from Steel City Ghost Tours.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm scared.
I shouldn't be.
So you run Steel City Ghost Tours. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved with that?
Right, well, originally how can I put this? It was sarcasm. And I was unemployed, and there was a lovely woman called Julie Mulkeen, who's my advisor, who asked me what I wanted to do for a job, and sarcastically I said, I'll start a ghost walk. The problem is I have no idea where that came from. I was just being sarcastic at that moment in time. So, yeah, she sent me to David Hall Partnership, the business school. Their tutor said it'd never work, and 11 and a half years later, we're still here. Fastest selling ghost book in the country, and television, film work, radio work. So this sarcasm has got a little out of control. It's like a bit like Frankenstein's monster. We're not sure where it is in the morning, but we do check our diaries.
Yeah, fantastic. So you are Mr. Penny Dreadful.
Right, yes.
In character, aren't you? Can you tell us a bit about what you wear when you're leading the ghost tours? Right.
Usually I'm seen to be wearing a top hat and long black coat, and underneath that I have waistcoat and cravat and things, and I think the character and the dress is based on people like Peter Cushing, when he was Dr. Frankenstein in the Hammer movies, and sort of Lon Chaney Jr. and Vincent Price and things like that. And I was a big horror fan when I was younger, the old style of horror fan, not the sort of chainsaw one. And it's the Bump in the Night and Dracula and things like that. So I think it's an amalgamation of all these old film stars and with sarcasm thrown in on top of it. And that's how I dress. It's a long black coat, Victorian gentleman, with, I suppose, a bit of a rogue and a vagabond. I mean, I wouldn't buy a second-hand Coach and Horses off Mr. P. Dreadful at all. Yeah. And I play the character.
Fantastic. So there seem to be a lot of ghost stories associated with Sheffield.
Yeah.
Why do you think we're so full of ghosts?
I think it's because we're a very old city, and we've had the 2 world wars, industrial revolution, agricultural revolution. We've also had the accidents, we've had the gangs. So out there, it's accumulated stories of ghosts and things that go bump in the night. And I think that's what it is. It's because it's an old city with old ideals and a great population that are down to earth. And most people know there's something. I mean, we do have sceptics sometimes with us that say, I don't believe in ghosts, but I've seen. And it's the thing of, okay, fine. So I suppose in a way it's the stories of people and how people interact as well as the city itself. It's just a magnet for things that go bump, I think, in the night.
And a great city of stories and storytellers, isn't it?
Yeah,
Everyone's got a story, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, lovely. So we're in the workstation at the moment, which is a former car showroom. Do you feel any vibes in here, Mr. Dreadful?
No, my love, I don't.
It's
I don't
not
at all.
haunted.
Radio Hallam, yes.
All right.
Radio Sheffield, yes.
Yeah.
Because there have been moments in theirs, but no, this one's nice and calm and relaxing.
Oh, that's good to know. I can relax now. So you run the Steel City Ghost Tours. Can you tell us about the basic tours?
Right, well, we run a number of tours. We run a Monday night, Wednesday night and Thursday night, and all our tours have different stories. They're never the same story. The Monday night one is great for children and people who are a bit squeamish and sort of like old style stories. It goes through the theatre area onto Fargate. Our Wednesday night one, well, we always say that's the adult one. Their stories are blood filled and more sort of the darker side of the stories of the city. We've had people faint on tour with us as well, mostly men for some reason. We're not sure why. Thursday night is an amalgamation of both, but sort of more light-hearted. We go through different parts of the city. Wednesday and Thursday we go through the Campo Lane area behind the cathedral. As I said, our Monday night one goes through the theatre area. We do run a private one that goes through the theatre area again, but a different set of stories. And it finishes in the most haunted building in Sheffield, the old Queen's Head pub next to the bus station. So, like I say, if you come on any of those nights, you'll hear different stories, and all our stories are researched as well. So when we tell you the facts and what's happened, it's eyewitness reports researched by researchers. And so we actually tell you the truth about what we've been told and what the research says is there and has actually happened.
Yeah, great. So what time are the tours?
We start at 7:30 from the Town Hall steps opposite the Barclays Bank, and then you pay, off we go, and we wander through the city.
Great. And what is the cost?
The cost is £5 for an adult, £4 for an OAP or student, and £2.50 for a child under the age of 13.
Fantastic. Sounds like great fun. So what kind of people tend to come on the tours?
We've had all sorts of people, from Girl Guides and Cub Scouts to foreign visitors to students who sometimes come to see me and say, my big brother's done this tour and said that when I come to Sheffield I've got to do it. So we have the mix goes right across the spectrum. We have sceptics as well, which is fine. We're not here to change anybody's life if they like it with the entertainment. And the ghosts, when they get seen, are sometimes seen by sceptics who photograph them and are a bit quiet after that. But yeah, so it's everybody and anybody, from school children up to the pensioners in the street and everybody in between.
Fantastic. And you run private ghost tours as well?
Yes, our private ghost walk, we run two. One for the over the age of 18, because we do finish in the Old Queen's Head pub, where they have up to between 7 and 11 ghosts, depending on the night, all recorded. Our other one, which is for people under the age of 18 who can't go in the public house, we've got other destinations we can take them to. And we've got a few routes that run through the theatre area, which is different to a Monday night stories. We have some that run through Fargate and down into the Campo Lane area, which are different to our Wednesday and Thursday night tours. So, well, like I say, we run the private ones, open to everybody, same price that you pay for a normal public tour, same time, same place we start from.
Be a great sort of birthday party present, wouldn't it?
We've had some interesting birthdays. A little girl wanted one for a birthday, and it was thundering. We had a thunderstorm.
Oh, right.
And every time I got to the ghostly bit, it suddenly rolled with thunder. And in the end, her dad came to me and said, I don't know how you did it with the thunder, but she's over the moon. She loved it. And I said, no, nor do I. I don't know how I did it with the thunder either.
Wow.
So, like I say, we've had other strange things happen on tour. We got followed by a big white owl one night, sat on the cathedral spire and hooted every time I got to a slightly gruesome bit. 43 witnesses, and I couldn't see it. Everybody else could. So that followed us, and we've had some Harry Potter fans with us one night, and went to the theatre area, and out of the theatre, Lyceum Theatre, came, I think it's Margaret McAleese, one of the actors who were one of the professors in Hogwarts. Yeah. So suddenly they had one of the professors from Hogwarts in front of them. So they were over the moon. They got ghost stories and Hogwarts, and we didn't know she was in the city. So it was just one of those things what happened. So.
Yeah, fantastic. So you've been leading the Steel City Ghost Tours for 11 years now. What do you find most challenging about it?
I would say sometimes the city itself, depending on the weather and the night of the year. It's strange how the city changes in the evening, and how people change with the weather and with different parts of the year. So I find sometimes people around the tour but not on the tour can be challenging, but in sometimes, well, mostly a positive way, really. Hardly any negative. So it's possibly people, really.
Yeah. And you go ahead whatever the weather?
Oh, yes, I've done it in a blizzard. I've done it in a thunderstorm. I've done it at -3 and -6 in temperature. I've had my hands turn blue and things. So, yeah, we run any weather whatsoever, because it's amazing the atmosphere of the city when we get snow and how it all changes.
Yeah.
And things. So.
Yeah, brilliant. And what do you enjoy most about leading these tours?
I think it's the people. I think it's the people who come, because you see them sort of. The facial expressions change when they start hearing the history. As I've said, all our history is researched for the buildings of why it was there. We always say it's 3 eyewitness reports, and then we have 6 months research on every single story, because it's not fair that the buildings are there and there's no history, and that people don't know it. And at the end, people have come to us and said, the history is wonderful. I didn't know it was that dark. I didn't know these things happened. Says I should do, but we don't get taught this in school or anything. So I'd say the people, they're fascinating how people's attitudes change, and how suddenly they feel that they can approach me and tell me about something they've seen, something they've done, or something they've been involved with, and things. So yeah, I'd say it's the people.
Yeah, fantastic. So are there any buildings in Sheffield that you'd love to lead a ghost tour around?
There's 3. 2 of them we've done already. One's the Cathedral Chambers on the Campo Lane, with the only ghost hunt that's ever done it. The Old Queen's Head, which we're going to do again early next year. And I think probably the last one is 2. One's the City Hall and one's the Lyceum Theatre. And I've got to put those 2 there because I've heard so much about them, and I've had people who work there come and talk to me about them, that yes, I would love to run a ghost hunt through both of those, just to see how much of research is correct. I mean, our researcher's a skeptic. He doesn't believe in ghosts, and that's why we have him, because he won't stop sort of digging until he finds the answers and things. But yeah, there was 4 on 3, I think.
Yeah.
Could say so.
Yeah, the Lyceum's really atmospheric, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially the basement.
Yeah, from what I've been told.
And are there any new Steel City ghost tours planned?
We're looking at other tours for next year. We're looking at doing a history tour through the city, but it'll probably be a bit of a darker history than what people know. So it might take in the gangland areas and where some of the other crimes are. When we do a crime and murder tour already, and that sort of is based in one part of the city, which is the old streets behind the cathedral. But we know that over the moor side, we know there's history over there, and we know that there's other things being seen over there as well that we would like to go and have a look at. So we're thinking of doing a tour down that side of the city and hope there's enough material there to actually fill out with tour routes and things.
Yeah,
so.
fantastic.
Plus also we're thinking about doing some ghost hunts open to the public next year as well.
Yeah, lovely. And I've got to ask this, Mr. Dreadful, have you ever seen a ghost?
Yes. I've seen them since I was a child. I thought everybody could until the age of 12. My mum told me, stop being morbid and shut up, and suddenly realised nobody else could see them. But yeah, we've had them photographed. I've seen all but 4 on all the tours we run, and usually in the most bizarre of places at bizarre of times, usually with small groups or with sceptics who don't believe in these things. And it's a thing of, well, you're just looking at somebody stood in a window in 19th century clothing. I know he's there. You can see him. Now you explain to me why. So yeah, we've had photographs and all sorts. But yeah, I've seen them. I've seen all sorts around the city.
Wow, oh, sounds absolutely brilliant. I'm going to have to come on one, I think.
Okay.
So how can people find out more about the Steel City Ghost Tours?
Right, we do have a website, and it's www.steelcityghosttours.co.uk. We're on Facebook, Steel City Ghost Tours. That gives you all the dates and everything on. We're on Twitter at #Sheffield Ghost Walks. So we're out there on the media. We have flyers around the city, and if you go in the tourist information office in the city and ask about us, they'll tell you the details and things. So we're right across the city of media and by word of mouth as well.
Lovely. So it's Mondays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, 7:30 at the Town Hall steps.
Yes, every week of the year.
Fantastic. Oh, I'll be there. Well, thanks very much for
You're
coming
very welcome.
on.
You're
That's
very
brilliant. So that was Mr. Penny Dreadful from